The diner sat just off the highway, its neon sign flickering like it had been doing for decades. Inside, the smell of burnt coffee and fried eggs clung to the air. It was the kind of place where nothing ever happened, and everyone liked it that way. The man sat alone near the window. Mid-30s, broad shoulders hidden under a plain jacket, hands rough, scarred, resting calmly on the table. His eyes were steady, alert, but relaxed, not the look of someone searching for trouble, but someone who knew how to handle it if it came. To the people inside the diner, he was just another traveler. Until the sheriff walked in. The bell above the door rang sharply as Sheriff Ray Colton pushed inside. His badge caught the light. His gun sat heavy on his hip. Conversations died instantly. A couple of locals lowered their heads. The waitress stiffened. Colton liked fear. It reminded people who was in charge. He scanned the room slowly, eyes stopping on the stranger by the window. The man didn't look away. That alone irritated the sheriff. Colton walked over, boots loud against the tile, stopping right at the edge of the table. "You don't look familiar," the sheriff said. The man glanced up calmly. "Just passing through?" Colton leaned closer. "Passing through towns like this usually comes with manners." The man nodded slightly. "I've been polite." A few heads turned. Someone shifted in their seat. Colton smiled, thin, cold. "You think sitting there ignoring me is polite?" The man took a sip of his coffee before answering. "I didn't ignore you, I answered." That was enough. The sheriff's hand slammed onto the table, rattling the silverware. "You got a problem with authority?" The man met his eyes evenly. "No, just bullies." The word hung in the air. Without warning, Colton shoved him hard in the chest, knocking him back against the booth. Gasps rippled through the diner. The man stood up slowly. Not angry, not rushed, controlled. "You should walk away," he said quietly. Colton laughed. "Or what?" He stepped closer, chest out, towering with the confidence of someone who'd never been challenged. Then he slapped the man across the face. The sound cracked through the diner. Time seemed to pause. The man's head turned slightly from the impact. For a moment he didn't move. Then he straightened, eyes still calm, but colder now. That was when everything changed. Colton reached for his gun. He never got it. The man moved with sudden precision, one step inside the sheriff's balance, a sharp twist of the wrist, a hard pivot. In less than 2 seconds, Colton was on the floor, face pressed to the tile, arm locked painfully behind his back. His gun slid across the floor, stopping under a nearby table. No punches, no rage, just skill. The diner was silent. The man knelt beside him, voice low and steady. "You assaulted me," he said. "You escalated, and now you're done." Colton struggled, panic creeping into his voice. "You're finished," he spat. "You just attacked a sheriff." The man released the hold and stood, hands visible. "I defended myself." Colton staggered to his feet, red-faced and shaking with anger. "You think anyone here will back you?" The man reached into his jacket slowly. People flinched. He pulled out a worn wallet and opened it. United States Navy. Retired. Then he turned the card. A black and gold trident. Navy SEAL. A murmur rolled through the diner. Colton froze. "You picked a fight with someone trained to end them," the man said calmly. Sirens wailed in the distance. Someone had called it in. This time, the sheriff didn't look so confident. State troopers arrived, then internal affairs. Cameras were reviewed. Witnesses spoke, finally speaking after years of silence. Stories poured out, threats, bribes, abuse. By the end of the night, Colton was in handcuffs, not as an officer, but as a suspect. As the SEAL paid his bill and headed for the door, the waitress stopped him. "Thank you," she said softly. He nodded. Someone had to. The bell rang as he stepped outside. The diner felt different now. Lighter. Because that night, a bully learned a hard lesson, and a town remembered something important. You never know who you're picking a fight with, and some warriors never stop standing their ground.